we are bringing this broadcast is advancing a project funded by the Chinese or the government of China to build 2 overpasses along the Tubman Boulevard route, and is intended to alleviate the huge traffic by commuters coming from Painesville going to town, and likewise coming from town to Painesville. So recently the government started by demolishing structures along the way, and they try getting to people, owners of some of the properties, and that is now a history. And now we are moving over to the official groundbreaking ceremony of the overpasses bridge that are expected to be built along the Tubman Boulevard. They will include auxiliary roads and ramps spanning a total length of approximately 4,293 meters, targeting high traffic areas near the SKD Stadium and the ministerial complex. But in October 2024, like I told you, the demolition of structures along the corridors from ELWA Junction to the ELWA Junction Car Wash to the SKD Boulevard Junction near Musu Spot began, and then the right of way was clear. But the Ministry of Public Works confirmed that most of the property affected or owners of those property are being compensated, and that the construction was scheduled to begin in February. But then there was a little bit of delay again with the companies involved in doing this work, and also there were few people who were actually left behind wherein they did not receive their compensation. So the government of Liberia needed to have cleared the entire thing off, and tomorrow, September 2, is the official groundbreaking ceremony of the 2 overpasses that is to be done tomorrow, Tuesday, September 2, 2025. But I'm here with my colleagues Anthony William and Masami Kone. They both are joining me to bring you this coverage. I want to say welcome, Anthony.
Thank you. Thank you, Aizen. Thanks for having me. All right, folks. So you heard it from my colleague. Tomorrow is the D-Day. And for those who have been probably wondering whether this project will actually happen, it's actually happening. As we speak, like you mentioned, we are right here on the spot where the groundbreaking ceremony will be held tomorrow. Just the other day, I was at the cabinet meeting that was held by President Boakai at the executive mansion. And, you know, I've been following this project just like you over the years. I'm actually using my words carefully because I know it's been long coming. I remember a year or 2 back, we spoke about this same very project during the previous administration. And just the other day when I spoke to Minister Pia, he made it clear that tomorrow precisely, September 2, will be the actual day when the government of Liberia and China will dig the first shovel to bring to fruition this milestone project. I want to call it a historic project because this is going to be the first time in Liberia's history to have overpasses of this nature. Now, you've already given the specifics as it relates to the project. It will have additional ramps and several other roads, but let's put it in simple Liberian terms. So just the other day on one of my podcasts, I did a video about the project, I put hours and all of that. I mean, we're talking up to $40 some more million US dollar project here that's going to be undertaken by China. And also, if we were to maybe describe, how the overpasses will look like, in one of my podcasts, I did mention that they've named, because there are 2 bridges precisely, and they've named them. One is called the East Overpass and the West Overpass. So starting from the SD Cooper Road Junction area is where the West Overpass will kick off.
Yes.
So
around the how do you call the community?
Yeah, sure.
Right behind the car wash.
Sure, definitely. So that's where bridge number 1 will start from. So bridge number 1, they're calling it the West Overpass. It's going to fly from SD Cooper Road towards Ministry of Health. Now, where they have live gym before climbing that low hill, before getting to Charles Taylor's house, somewhere there, bridge number 1 will end. So bridge number 1 is expected to cover, if my memory can set me right, a 1,140-meter distance. And once it gets to Boulevard Junction, it's going to branch off on the right. Since we're facing Townway, so we can see on the left, it's going to branch off on the left, and then land somewhere between where we have the 72nd Boulevard Road, somewhere in between where they have Ghana Chop Bar and you know the rest of the places. That's where it's going to land. A portion of it will land for those who will be coming from that direction, and those who will be going in that direction when they're coming from town or from the Pinsville end. So, but it will obviously fly over Boulevard and land somewhere around Ministry of Health, as per the blueprints designs we've seen. And then bridge number 2, which they are calling the East Overpass, will start somewhere right here where we stand around the former Unity Party headquarters and up that hill. And then it will fly over, that low hill and fly right before this Ellen Johnson Ministerial Complex and land right before where we have Musu Spot, somewhere getting closer to the police station around there. In fact, that's why they've done all the necessary clearing of everything that's in the right of way of the project. And if my memory can also set me right, the East Overpass, which is bridge number 2, should be covering up to 800 meters distance, flying right before the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex. Now, you did mention there will be additional ramps. Speaking of additional ramps, there will be the Congo Town back row will be looked after. There will also be, some additional ramps to enable folks to descend from the bridge, probably come into the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex, and go in other direction right within the Congo Town area. But basically, folks, tomorrow is the D-Day, and we just wanted to show you what work looks like currently here at the spot where the actual groundbreaking ceremony is going to be taking place. It's right before the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex, somewhere right here in Congo Town at the 540 junction. So probably, Eisen, we can show our followers, what's actually going on currently. So as we speak, the GSA is currently mounting chairs. They're mounting chairs, they're mounting billboards.
And speaking about the diagram, there are 2 samples here, and I would love to give a vivid view to our audience about some of the diagrams we are talking about.
Maybe we can come to this one. Masami, kindly can you just bring the camera closer and just show right here, let those who are watching have a clearer view of what this is going to look like. So right here before us is one of the designs that have been put out by the construction company. And if you look closely, Eisen, you look right below here and also right here. These are pictures of additional ramps that will be added to this project. If you look closely, right here, there is another, there are other.
This should be the Congo Town back row.
Yeah, definitely.
This is infill.
Yeah, this is infill, and this is the Congo Town back row. And this is the park right here, if you know the famous park.
Ministry of Health.
Yes, this is the Ministry of Health. So if you notice, this is the descending end, right here at the Ministry of Health. This is where the bridge will descend. And if you look closer somewhere here, this is coming from the Pinsville area and driving towards, Boulevard. And if you look here, this is Boulevard right here.
You were actually talking about the East Overpass.
Yeah, this is the East Overpass right here. If you look closely, this is the East Overpass. And so these are the actual designs that the Chinese company have put out for this overpass. But Aison, you can go ahead from your own description. Let's see what it will look like.
Yeah, so if you look at the main corridor, the corridor reconstruction is about 967 meters. And there will also be a new auxiliary road that will include 1,134 meters of the overpass length. But then it will also be 183 meters. That's the actual figure talking about the stretch of the various lanes and ramps that will be coming in. But then it's estimated that this project is going to run for about 24 months, as you are looking at here from the duration of the project. And then if you will want to come further, since in fact this is the East Overpass, and let's see what is here. And this is the West Overpass. Yes, this is the West Overpass. And at this point, you will actually see vividly how the entire project is going to be like, talking about when the project shall have been completed. This is what it's going to look like. But I think a better picture is placed on the samples there. I wish we could ask the years and see if we could just ask the guys to actually
show. But those were just designs that have been shown, folks. If you notice, these are just designs that have been placed here on these billboards. We're just trying to show you. But currently here on at the spot where the groundbreaking ceremony itself will take place, there's massive work ongoing, folks. As you can see, the folks from the GSA mounting this giant-sized canopy. And if you look closely, they're also mounting chairs. They're doing some magnificent work here. So tomorrow it's actually going to go down. But let's go and show you the giant-sized billboard where the design has already been shown. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah.
So this is a much better picture, like I said to you. And if you can see here, this is exactly how the project is going to be like. If you look at this portion of the road, Anthony, so if you are coming from town, 2 lanes are going to be reserved for the vehicles to plow. And then if you were to look at this lane here, this is the one coming from Painesville. So the entire lane that is coming from Painesville will be reserved, and additionally the entire bridge that is to be built will come from the Painesville side of the road. So this is exactly how the project is going to be like, where you have vehicles coming from Painesville. The current lane they are using, that lane is going to be used by the company to construct the overpasses.
Definitely. So in simple Liberian terms, 2 cars will be coming from Painesville going to town. 2 cars will be coming from Intown, coming to Painesville way. So yeah, definitely. And then when we spoke of additional ramps, they'll make sure that those underlying roads will be worked on, and our vehicles will also be able to ply roads beneath the bridge itself. So I mean from the design, you can tell this is obviously a giant-sized project. Come to think of it, and for those who do not know, this is a 2 China-aided overpass bridges project on the Tubman Boulevard, precisely here in Liberia. And the D-Day is tomorrow. The actual groundbreaking ceremony takes place tomorrow. We've been following this project for years now, Aisen, and come to think of it, previous years back, this project was stalled due to some diplomatic reasons. And but good thing is it's now up. I mean, for groundbreaking, it starts tomorrow. And once the first shovel is stuck tomorrow, machines will start their work. Engineers will get to work. If you look closely behind us, there are yellow machines that are already parked right before the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex. Now, if we can just probably walk around and show the folks.
So just give this figure. Yeah. If you look at the structural components, the West Pass is the West Overpass is talking about the road, the Congatan Bar Road, and the Tubman Boulevard near SKD. Sure. That is the West Overpass, and the main lane construction, and that will include 1,140 meters. Sure. That will be the auxiliary roads, like you were mentioning, the road beneath the bridge, and also the additional ramps that will be created will constitute 950 meters. And that will also come from the overpass that is to be built, and then the east overpass will include the back road near the ministerial complex. Yes, and talking about the back road near the ministerial complex, I guess you want to talk about this route
that leads towards
the old road, And so
I mean, all of them, if you combine, we're talking up to
4,293 meters.
That's quite a length.
Yes. And this is a China-funded project from the government of China, talking about 41 million United States dollars. Sure. And this is a very huge one. But yes, you were actually making reference of some of the earth-moving equipment.
So as we speak, there are earth-moving equipment already here on ground as we speak. In fact, with this work that's ongoing, basically it's just for the groundbreaking. But as we speak, just a moment ago, we were driving along the Tubman Boulevard here in Congo Town, and we saw new machines being brought in this direction. Machines are being stationed in various locations of the project along SKD Boulevard. There are machines that are being brought to place somewhere around there. I think they are targeting the work from all angles, from what it looks like. And so, yeah, but basically, let's just show the folks what's happening now as we speak. Let's just show the work that is being done right here. This is the giant size canopy. It has already been mounted. The canopy, maybe we can just go in there, if right here on my right hand side, these seats have already been positioned, and there will be folks sitting here to grace the occasion tomorrow. Also right here, there are a huge number of chairs that have already been brought also, where folks will also be here tomorrow to grace the occasion. But let's just go into the canopy. This is a giant size canopy, and the guys here from the GSA are doing a magnificent job to mount this canopy. And you see these executive looking chairs that will be hosting guests tomorrow that will be here at this event. Imagine the size of this canopy. We're talking about a national event. The government of Liberia, the government of China will be represented here. Of course, China will be represented by the Chinese ambassador himself, Ambassador Chen Wu. He will be here tomorrow. And so also if you look here, since this is going to be a China-aided project, right here there is the China aid symbol is being erected. If you look closely, the China aid symbol is being erected by the engineers. They're doing quite a magnificent job also. And basically, speaking of China doing projects in Liberia, it's a long list of Chinese projects that are ongoing in Liberia as we speak. And so this is just, in my mind, the biggest so far of all of the projects. There's a little podium right here that has been mounted also. Also, if you notice the equipment, the sound system is also being worked on for tomorrow's event. Folks, this is exactly right before the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex here in Congo Town. This is where the event is going to be taking place. Now, speaking of F-moving equipment, if we can come right here, if you look closely, there is a giant size, a caterpillar right here, right by us. There's another machine right here. Also, there is a tanker, water tanker, also right there in the back. Usually when these projects are taking place, they usually wet the road. Also there's another giant size excavator right here, right before us here, where we stood earlier when we arrived. It's another, a giant size excavator. There's also a compactor right there. If you look closely, there's this giant size compactor, right here. So for those of you who are watching, like we said, we are right here before the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex. And if you can just look on the road there, this is the 540 area. Vehicles, are moving. But in the next 24 months, as per the project duration, these vehicles will not be plying on this surface anymore. They will be driving on an overpass that, will cross over this entire location right here at the SKD Boulevard Junction. So, folks, this is a breakthrough project for Liberia's infrastructural outlook. This project, according to the project design, is meant to alleviate or reduce traffic congestion around the SKD Boulevard Junction, the 540 junction around here, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex where we are, and also post complex. In fact, as per the project design, there's also going to be some intervention that's going to be made around the SKD area to help decongest the traffic, because come to think of it, especially during game times, SKD gets very crowded and traffic gets congested. So the project also has a component in it that will make some intervention around the SKD sports complex area. Probably maybe a footpath crossover or something. I can't determine. I don't have the actual specifics. But there will be interventions made at the SKD sports complex. So, unless I guess you have some additional details to give our followers. But for those of you who are watching, if I may sum this up quickly, tomorrow, the groundbreaking ceremony for the 2 overpass bridges that are expected in China will officially take place. And the folks are here working at the location where the groundbreaking will take place. They're mounting chairs, they're setting up giant-size billboards. They've already brought the F-moving equipment on site, and they're mounting the sound system, and you name it. So this is actually a breakthrough project for Liberia's infrastructure.
Yeah, so Anthony, the bottom line to this entire project is that this will actually create a major infrastructure upgrade funded by the Chinese government, and is designed to build 2 grade separated overpasses along the Tubman Boulevard. Full ramps will also be added to the overpasses, and auxiliary roads will also follow. And after all of these, well, it is the hope and expectation of the Liberian people that this will help alleviate the traffic congestion, as they are already saying in their the overview of the entire project. But I think much will be said tomorrow when the folks who are actually knowledgeable of the entire project, talking about the Minister of Public Works, the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, the Chinese ambassador, the contractors as well. So tomorrow, this is just a build up to this ceremony, because Liberians are actually noted for killing a project far ahead of the official start of the project. I heard some people already saying, well, the overpasses will never come to fruition and what have you. So the honor is upon the government of Liberia that whenever you announce any project, it's up to you to live up to the agreement and the negotiation set therefore, and then that is the easier way that the people will have trust in the government. So this is one project.
For those who have had uncertainty, who were uncertain about the project coming to fruition, obviously it's happening. I mean, in one of my podcasts, I did mention that it's actually happening. That was when we visited the residence of the engineers right there at the famous right to play field on the SKD Sports Complex, or in the compound of the SKD Sports Complex. They've built these makeshift, or you can call them container houses, where the engineers will be residing. We're talking up to 24 rooms in each of these structures, and they have up to 8 to 10 of them in that particular vicinity. That's where the engineers will be residing, who will undertake this project. For those of you who have had doubts about this project, well, guys, tomorrow is the D-Day, and more details will be provided on the project. We expect the Chinese ambassador will obviously be here tomorrow. His Excellency President Boakai will be digging the shovel, will be using the shovel to dig the grounds along with the Chinese ambassador tomorrow. The Minister of Public Works, of course, Minister Giddens will be here. Top government officials will be here. Top Chinese diplomats also. We are being told there are some international guests who will also grace the occasion tomorrow here right before the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex. So maybe we could just do our little rounds. Also, Ayeson, before we leave quickly, there are also concerns of traffic congestion during the construction works, but the government of Liberia or the Ministry of Public Works is trying her possible best to create some detours for people who will be plying this route. If you get here, right here at the 540 junction, there is a route that leads to the old road right here, at the 540 junction, and the Ministry of Public Works will place machines on that road to recondition it temporarily for those who are commuting between here to use that route and get to the old road, and then you can walk around the Cali junction or choose to go on the old road and then go to town. Also coming from the Boulevard Junction area, I want to assume, since the Congo Town Back Road portion will not be might not be touched from the onset, it will be used eventually, and also eventually, and also the Japan Freeway, it remains open to make your way to town also in that light, in the efforts of creating detour for folks who will be plying this road. I know in some way will obviously be tedious once the project gets to some extent for vehicles to be able to access this route. I mean, we're speaking of a giant size structure, so it's not going to be easy for vehicles to apply this road. But we expect that the Ministry of Public Works and their partners will put everything in place to make sure that folks can safely apply this road, easily apply this road while the project is ongoing. But yes, we just want to show you around and show you the works that's ongoing. The folks are very busy here, as you can look in there. The canopy has been erected, Eisen, and the machines are already here on the ground. Chairs are being brought. And so, I mean, right before us here, if you can just show the building, this is the famous Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex. If you can just zoom in a little bit. Speaking about Chinese project, this particular project was also constructed by the Chinese government under China Aid also. And I remember right here, there was the famous Ministry of Defense that was being constructed by late President Samuel Kanyendo, but it has to be demolished purposely to build the famous Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex now that is hosting several government ministries and relieving the government of Liberia of renting properties. Just the other day, President Boakai was speaking of his government trying to put an end to government entities renting private properties to carry out government functionalities. So this bridge, again, speaking about it, the project will obviously bring relief to the traffic and also give a facelift to the country's infrastructural outlook.
Certainly. It's my colleague, Anthony Williams. Like we said, the entire stretch of the road will constitute 4,293 meters. And the sum of the entire project is around 41 million United States dollars.
Yeah, as
per the document. It's a huge one. So tomorrow we're going to be here bringing you live coverage of the entire ceremony.
Sure.
And this is going to be the official start of the construction work for the two overpasses along the Tubman Boulevard route, pushing as far as the SKD Sport Complex community and that of the Congotown Back Road. Well, folks, there you have it. I said my colleague Anthony Williams want to weigh in.
Well, I don't have much as it stands, because tomorrow is the actual day. I keep saying it, so more details will be given tomorrow. We just wanted to show the folks just do a little build up to the actual event itself for tomorrow. But folks, all is set. Liberia will be getting its first overpass bridges in the city, and obviously they will be built here along the Tubman Boulevard in the Congotown area. I mean, usually people say when I leave Liberia, I come back, I don't get to see something new. But speaking about development, there are several projects that are ongoing. I mean, the RRA road project is still, still ongoing. Massive efforts is being made on that road project. We've got several roads across the country, talking about the Ganta to Sanikwele, Saklepie to Tapita Road projects. They're all going. Even the Southeastern Corridor, just the other day when I spoke to the Minister of Public Works, according to him, they have this, should I call it an alias, but the government is planning, in his terms, the Autopus strategy will be used once the dry season comes. They will be targeting road projects from all angles across the country. And so there's also the Keseli Boulevard, to the Japan Freeway, intention to build a bridge over the swamp, and for folks to be able to use that other route also. We don't know yet when government intends to start that particular project precisely, but it's also on the books to be looked at, the Keseli Boulevard.
Be a very reasonable detour, talking about commuting between Cinco and the Japan Freeway.
Sure, definitely.
Because you just come somewhere from around the 12th Street area, and then you are on the Japan Freeway.
Next thing, you are on the Japan Freeway. So there are more projects, folks. There are more road projects that are ongoing across the country. Some are pending because, the rainy season also has, a way of kind of disrupting the works. But again, the government is holding on to the dry season. Once the dry season comes, some of these projects will start going on. And so we just thought to come here and show you the works that's ongoing as it relates to preparation for tomorrow's historic groundbreaking for the two overpass bridges here on the Tubman Boulevard, precisely in the Congotown area. My name is Anthony Williams. My colleague will show the camera around a little bit before we leave. But this will do it for this broadcast. This was just a brief broadcast just to show you the works that's ongoing here right before the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex for the historic groundbreaking of the two overpass bridge projects the two overpass bridge projects that is being undertaken by the Chinese government here in Liberia. Anthony Williams.
And I'm Ayesini. I also want to say thanks to the woman, Masami Kone, who has actually been behind camera, making sure that this broadcast is brought to you live and direct from the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex, where two overpass bridges will be erected and to alleviate the years of traffic congestion in Central Monrovia and along the Tubman Boulevard route. So folks, thanks for watching. Till we come your way tomorrow with a live broadcast on radio and on television. We love to say thanks for watching. My name is Ayesindiva, and my colleague Anthony Williams and my Conan has been here.
Yes, 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test match 1, 2.
The national television service of the Liberia Broadcasting System. We are coming to you live from Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex in Congotown. As you may be aware, today, September 2, 2025, His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai is expected to officially break grounds for the two overpasses that is expected to be built by the Chinese government. And as you may be aware, months back, government of Liberia through the Ministry of Public Works announced February of this year they were actually anticipating the construction of the two overpasses along the Tubman Boulevard route, but that did not go as planned. But because there were other properties that were still in the right-of-ways, and they needed to have completed the issue of payments to those affected by the demolition exercise along this route. So the Ministry of Public Works and the government of Liberia deemed it necessary to complete all of the necessary requirements to making sure that, well, once the project gets started, residents here can have easy access to the facility, and that no one will come in confrontation with the Ministry of Public Works or the Chinese construction company that are expected to construct this modern overpasses along the Tubman Boulevard route. I'm here along with my colleague Masiami Konen, and this is just a build up to the project that is expected to officially begin today, right after the groundbreaking ceremony. So if you look here, you see the earth-moving equipment are all lined up. This is a signal telling construction work of the overpasses here. But this is just a synopsis of how exactly this bridge is going to look like. If you look at the Polytech here, you will see what exactly this bridge will look like. And this is just the west overpass, and I'm told that there is an east overpass to this entire project. So the construction of the China Railway Young Engineering Group Company Limited will be the one to erect this modern facility, and it's about 4,292 meters stretch of the bridge that will resume or commence from the ST Cooper Road and coming up to the Boulevard Junction, and it will further push from the area as far as the Musu Spot area. So yes, officials of government are actually making their way here, and as soon as we can receive signal of the arrival of His Excellency President Joseph Boakai, we will be resuming live broadcast. But we want to make our way in there to show you a look of how this entire place is like. You have cultural performances and state securities are also here. But before doing this, I see the Senator of the Superintendent of Maserati County, Honorable Wale Bryant, is the Superintendent of Maserati County. I want to engage a view. Honorable Sue, want to say welcome to LNTV, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
Today will be a historical day in the life of Liberians, as the president is expected to officially break ground for the overpasses along the Tubman Boulevard. What do you make of this coming in the second year of the Unity Party-led government?
Today is one of the many historic days that we promised the people of Liberia that there will be no business as usual. Their welfare is going to be privatized, their business is going to be privatized, and their development is going to be privatized. So today is just one of the many days that we promised them.
If you listen to some of the arguments on the social media, folks are saying, well, the expectation for the Unity Party government was high, and you now, they are not seeing anything for you.
Some of the argument on the social media for entertainment purposes. So at times when we want to stress free, we read some of them that's stress free, but we have an agenda. We are stick to our agenda. We are committed to that agenda. The people of Liberia appreciate what we're doing. We are not going to be great about people who themselves has to be a bit talked to be able to refine themselves, to be able to change their mind, to be able to keep themselves busy, to be able to get involved in the development. We're not going to be convinced ourselves.
What difference will this bring to the issue of traffic congestion in the city of Monrovia and other parts of Peninsula?
Promote trade, promote investment, promote the security of our people, because road connectivity promotes economic development, promotes security also. So this is a very big investment, a very big venture, and this is a project that we are committed to doing. Many projects that we are committed to doing. This is just one of them.
Are you optimistic that yes, the project
So that question is to question the technical capacity and the know-how of the technicians and the engineers. So I'm not an engineer. The engineers have done all their study, have put all their best into the place and say, look, this job can be done for 2 years. I can question that. Yes.
Thank you very much. Well, he's Maserati County Superintendent Wale Bryant. But if you take a closer look here, you see these women who are beautifully dressed in their African attire, and it's dominant green. Let's get a hint of
Memuno Tiwande, Memuno Tiwande. I am my way Tiwande, Saya Pola Tiwande. Memuno Tiwande, Memuno Tiwande, Saya Pola Tiwande. Memuno Tiwande, Memuno Tiwande, Saya Pola Tiwande.
So we will attempt to make our way into the arranged hall, and this is exactly where the entire ceremony will take place. As you can already see, folks, some of the folks are already seated. This is a milestone.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? Small time, please.
So,
Sister Paul, please, officials of government, other invited guests,
so
please begin by saying,
let's see if we can speak to the commissioner of the township of Congo Town, Commissioner Edward Laha. I want to say good morning, welcome to LMTV, sir.
Good morning, LMTV. It's a pleasure being on your platform.
This is happening within your township, and you've been one person calling for a massive development in the township of Congo Town. What do you make of this so far?
Yes, we are very pleased that this project is happening now and is happening in Congo Town. This is a pathway to major growth in our country. And you know, overpass bridges are so many in some of the surrounding countries around us. Seeing this coming to Liberia, we believe it is a pathway for more overpass bridges to come to Liberia to create additional access for the people of Liberia, not only Congo Town.
How significant is this project? Since in fact, if you look at the 4,293 meters, 80% is in the better way of Congo Town.
Yeah, so you see, Congo Town is just a portion of Maserati, right? Our population is not that big. We are just now the 1,631 people according to the latest census, right? But there are thousands of people who use this route, going to town, to go to work, to do businesses and all of that. Now, by the construction of this overhead bridge, it will reduce traffic congestion here significantly. Let me tell you, one of the easiest pathways to growth and development is to create access. Once you give people access to go and come freely, it creates that kind of environment where economic activity can be frequent. Right? I was in the People's Republic of China a few days ago. Road is all over the place. Overhead bridges are in their multitudes. I believe there should be a stepping stone for us to have more overhead bridges in the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you very much. We'll talk to you after the program. Here is the Commissioner of the Township of Congo Town, Commissioner Edward Laha. Let's see if we can get the view of the cultural ambassador, Kekura Kamara, who is always here. And we want to say, Honorable Ambassador, welcome to LNTV, sir.
Thank you so much for the honor this morning.
One of the many ways to know whether you are around is by the cultural troupe, and once you see them performing, then you know that the ambassador is around. But firstly, today the president will be breaking ground for 2 overpasses, a gift from the People's Republic of China. What do you make of this so far?
Yeah, I think this is a giant step towards the infrastructure development of Liberia. There's a need for more roads. There's a need for for us to improve. Other countries have gone far, and this is a giant step by this government. As you said earlier, we are here and we want to give. You see the troops there performing. We are here to welcome the guests. We are happy. That's the happiness that we are trying to show to our people, to our guests, that Liberia is ready for development. And I want to thank the president for this initiative and the people of China for this giant step that they're taking in helping us to develop our roads.
How is this going to impact you as cultural ambassador, since in fact you are almost all over all of the programs you are there?
Yeah, we are to be part and parcel of all the programs in the country. Our culture is very rich. We need to promote it. We need to develop it. And that's one of the things that we as an officer want to do in Liberia, to make sure that this government leave a legacy in the area of arts and culture. You know that the government has passed a bill already to separate culture and tourism from information. So we are going to be non-political. We will concentrate on developing our rich values, our cultural, heritage. And so we very, very pleased, and we enjoying the support of the government. As you know, we are also engaged in carrying on awareness, educating our people. And I want to thank the Central Bank of Liberia for giving us the opportunity to be part of the financial education program in Liberia. They are doing excellent. We visited 5 countries already, including Grand Guide, Lofa, Nimba, Bon, and Magibi. Our next step, phase 2, will be Bassa, Tubman, Monserrado, Bomi, and Bapolu. We're going to go there. We're making use of the opportunity to restructure our cultural group. This is time for decentralization of our culture.
Thank you very much. I will hold you there. We'll speak to you briefly after the groundbreaking ceremony.
Thank you so much.
Well, folks, he's the cultural ambassador, Kakura Kamara. Well, these are all folks from the China Aid Funded Project, and we are attempting to lay hand on the official program sheet to give you a line of what exactly the program will look like. And as soon as we can do that, we will be bringing this bill up as we await the official start of the program. So as we attempt to give you the itinerary, at about 55, the guest arrival and sitting will take place, and presidential arrival will be at 11 o'clock, and 2 minutes past 11 will be invocation. That will be done by Reverend Johnson P. And 5 minutes past 11 o'clock, introductory remarks will be done by Ms. Tapla, Deputy Minister for Rural Development and Community Services. And 11:15 will be performance from the Flomo Theater Group. And 11:20, special will be Public Works Minister, will be an overview of the project. That will be done by Prince D. Tamba Sr., is the Deputy Minister for Technical Services at the Ministry of Public Works. And 11:40, remarks will be made by His Excellency Yin Chiwu, Chinese Ambassador to Liberia. And 11:55, the keynote address will be delivered by His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai. Exactly 12 o'clock, vote of thanks will be done by Samuka Duno, Deputy Minister for Administration. And 5 minutes past 12 o'clock will be benediction coming from Reverend Johnson P. And at 12:20, the groundbreaking ceremony and photo or cutting of ribbon and the turn of saw will also be done one after another by His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai and His Excellency Yin Chiwu, Chinese Ambassador to Liberia. Well, folks, this is the lineup of today's program coming to you live from the Ministerial Complex in Congoton as we await the official arrival of His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai, who will officially break ground for the construction of 2 overpasses along the Tubman Boulevard route. My name is Ayesen Iba. My colleague Masiami Konen has been here, and we will take a short break. As soon as we can receive signal of the arrival of the president, we will be coming to you live for the official groundbreaking ceremony of this all-important program. Thanks for watching, and do have yourself a pleasant morning from Congoton.